In this video, I will show you 5 tips everyone must know in GTA Online. For the most part, most of these tips in this video are pretty basic, but the overall impact of these different tips can really help you guys out in GTA Online, and altogether are just super useful to know. So guys, kicking things off with the first tip, we have session switching. Now I know how this sounds and it does sound very basic and also simple, but what I actually mean by session switching is changing your spawn location and switching sessions, instead of just switching sessions and that is it. If you did not know, in GTA Online, with your different apartments and sometimes even businesses, they will have a bed located inside, also known as a living quarters. For example, if you guys own an office or even just really any apartment, you should be able to change your spawn location to this specific apartment or office, and in turn be able to switch sessions after changing your spawn location to spawn at this new location. The reason this is extremely effective is mainly to get around the map very quickly. If you guys have an apartment all the way over in Palito Bay, you can change your spawn location to this apartment, join a new invite-only session, and you will be all the way across the map in pretty much 1 minute or less. I mainly use this trick for the KO setup missions, and it can also come in very useful if you guys are trying to fill a crate warehouse. Just be warned, if you are trying to switch sessions into a public lobby, the loading times may be a little bit longer compared to joining an invite-only session. Moving over to the next tip, we have snacks and armor. Just like the previous tip, this does sound very basic, as snacks and armor are pretty much vital in GTA Online, especially in different missions and PvP situations, but specifically with snacks and armor, Rockstar Games did implement a new feature that is sort of similar to a shortcut. So instead of going into your interaction menu every single time to apply some snacks and armor, instead what you can do is open up your weapon wheel and you will have the 2 options at the top left hand corner of your screen. With the very short amount of time this feature has been enabled, it has saved me a countless number of times. Even if you do not trust using the weapon wheel to re-up on your snacks and armor, you can instead just open your interaction menu and then keep this open as you play the game. I tend to do this second method when just driving vehicles, as you cannot access the weapon wheel. This tip is extremely basic, however it is probably one of the most effective. Just make sure that you guys keep stocked up on snacks and armor, and you will start surviving some pretty unlivable situations. For this next tip, this will only be available on the next gen consoles, with the next gen version of GTA Online, and this will be the garage tooltips. For some reason, Rockstar only decided to add this on the next gen consoles, but honestly this is just super useful, especially for those of you guys out there who have so many different garages with a bunch of different vehicles. To use the garage tooltips, you want to call the mechanic, and when you have the menu for all of your different garages and properties, you then have the option to add some info. Essentially this will just let you name your garages. So for example, in this garage I have an insurgent, so to make this very easy to find, instead of looking in all of my different garages, I can just name this garage insurgent, making it much easier to find. You can also use this tip on the individual garages with the Eclipse Boulevard garage, and you will see that I did name one of them HSW Fastest. This is where I store all of my HSW vehicles. This next tip will give you an advantage in combat situations, whether that be against NPC enemies or PvP situations. This will be skipping the reload animation for your different weapons. This can be quite hard to get used to at first. To do this, when you are shooting a weapon, you want to switch to a different weapon or a throwable, and then quickly switch back to the weapon you were using. If done correctly, this will automatically reload the weapon, and this will be most effective with an RPG or anything like that. To make this even more effective, you want to do this in first person, and you guys will see in the gameplay when I do this in first person. With an RPG, you can pretty much keep firing this as long as you have enough ammunition. If you have seen other players play GTA Online before, the majority of people do use this method or trick, and it has pretty much been around since the inception of GTA Online. This tip will be ideal for different missions where you need to destroy a lot of different things, even something as simple as just taking down some enemy helicopters or something. something, this will help you out massively. Just before we move over to the next tip, which will be the last tip, I do have sort of an honorable mention, which does sort of use the same reload animation skip, and this will be for when you guys are parachuting. If you guys have parachuted from anywhere, you will already know that the animation for the parachute when you land is extremely long. So one quick way that you can get out of this animation is as soon as you land, you want to open your weapon wheel, pull out a weapon, and then spam the button for roll. If done correctly, you will roll out of your parachute, and this can actually save you in some different situations. But now guys, this brings us to our final tip for this video, and this will be evolving around the Oppressor Mark II. If you guys did not know, the Oppressor Mark II can have a speed boost, and this is very simple to do. When flying the Oppressor Mark II around, if you hold down the handbrake button, you will get a massive speed boost of about 20 miles per hour. You will also notice when you guys are holding down the handbrake button, the Oppressor Mark II's wings will retract, which means that you have done this correctly. Another way to see the speed increase is by going into first person, and you will see that the speed will increase by about 20 miles per hour. Every time I use my Oppressor Mark II to get around the map, I always use this tip, especially in different missions and different businesses, and in my opinion it just makes the Oppressor Mark II such a vital vehicle to get around the map and grind different businesses. Obviously some people will use the Oppressor Mark II for other reasons, but this speed boost will come in very handy. There's also another thing that you guys can do with the Oppressor Mark II, and I would mainly use this second tip to maybe avoid griefers or something, and this is to fly upside down. If you fly the Oppressor Mark II very slowly up against a different building and then pull down on your joystick, you will be able to fly the Oppressor Mark II upside down. And on top of this, if you then hold the handbrake, the Oppressor Mark II will fly all the way up, making you a very difficult target to hit. Just be warned, it is very hard to control the Oppressor Mark II like this, but overall I would definitely say it is very fun and could possibly be useful. But yeah guys, that will be 5 tips everyone must know in GTA Online. Make sure to leave a comment down below if I have missed any essential tips. There is honestly just so many different tips across GTA Online, and obviously if I tried to fit them all in one video, it would be a very long video. I think by far my favourite tip from this video is probably the skip reload, or at least the skip reload animation. I always find myself using this in different missions and setups, and probably next to this I would say the snacks and armor. With that change, I always use that as well. I would probably say that them two are the most used, and then maybe just underneath this the Oppressor speed boost and session switching. For the most part, this is the main tips that I would probably use the most, but if you guys found any of these tips useful, make sure to leave a like. I really appreciate your support, and if you guys are new here, subscribe and hit that bell icon to never miss a video. Finally guys, stay safe, thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.